Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To all viewers who are watching this video, thank you for being here and thank you for this great opportunity given to me today. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Saenab Sakiah. I'm a student of English and Literature Department, AG.3 from Arab and Humanities Faculty, UIN Alauddin Makassar. First of all, thanks to Allah the Almighty, the most gracious and the most merciful, because of His blessing and grace. This video for Discourse analysis course can be finished. So, Alhamdulillah, and salawat and salam we also send to the Prophet Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him, the man who broke us from the darkness era into the lightness era. I also would like to express my deepest gratitude to Sir Dr. Andy Kaharuddin, the lecturer on this course, analysis course, for his guidance and support to complete this video. So I'm making this video as a requirement to complete the mid test in the AG meeting of discourse analysis. So in this video, I would like to explain about discourse analysis in general and its role in English language teaching, ELT, where it will be four subtopics of discourse analysis which link to each other that we are going to cover in this video. So the first topic is about the reasons for studying discourse analysis, which consists of first academic reasons, second pragmatic reasons, and the third is pedagogical reasons. The second topic is about the genesis, the origins of discourse analysis, its relations to the development of linguistics theory, which started from the development of traditional grammar theory, structuralism and functionalism theory. And the third topic is about the concept of discourse and discourse analysis, as well as its relationship in English language teaching, or ELT. And the last topic, the fourth topic we are going to cover in this video is the scope of discourse analysis for English language teaching, or ELT. Well, when we started to learn something new, whether it is new skills or materials from the course we get from our college, it is very important to know the reasons for learning it. Having said that, recognizing the reasons why should we learn discourse analysis could at least motivate us to do our best to learn it, so that the result that we will gain after learning it be at its fullest. Talking about the reasons for studying discourse analysis, it can be categorized into three types of reasons, namely academic reasons, pragmatic reasons, and pedagogical reasons. So I'll explain these reasons of studying discourse analysis one by one. First, academic reasons. So, according to Wood, through discourse analysis, the students engage with the study of how in social interactions human beings convey their ideas, their meaning, not as an individualistic enterprise, but but as a result of dynamic and ongoing negotiations with their interlocutors. So by learning discourse analysis, the students will be able to gain knowledge and understanding of the functions of language in social life, in social context, and the role that language plays in the constructions and shaping the social relationship. So what's more, by learning discourse analysis itself, these students will eventually learn not only the skills of English, such as reading, speaking, writing, and listening, but they'll also learn the knowledge of language known as linguistics, which consists of the ability or the knowledge about phonetics, morphology, phonology, syntax, and morphology. To be further, the students who learn discourse analysis at level university are expected to gain some advantages during their study on discourse analysis course, such as to gain the knowledge of discourse analysis, how discourse analysis works, to develop students' critical mindset, to understand everyday language in social context, and to obtain students' inspirations to teach English. So the second reasons is the pragmatic reasons. So according to Oxford Online Dictionary, pragmatics means the branch of linguistics dealing with language in use and the context in which it is used. So meanwhile, Hunt defines pragmatics as the study of the conditions of human language uses as there are determined by the context of society. So it determines by its social context. In short, pragmatics can be defined as the study of meaning in language in a particular context. So as we know that there are many students of English who are good at producing well-structured English sentence, but not that good at producing a functional sentence, for they don't really know how to use such expressions to convey their ideas or feelings based on its social context. So these kind of obstacles in learning English also become a challenge faced by most of students. Therefore, by studying discourse analysis, students are expected to gain the ability not only to produce the well-structured language sentence, but also to understand the use of language in its social context. The next reasons for studying discourse analysis is pedagogical reasons. So, discourse analysis has a very close relationship with teaching and learning language, either a foreign language or a second language, because discourse analysis is concerned with the use of language in real life communicative situations, and so is foreign language education. As we know that to maximize the language learning process, teachers are required to teach their students not only how to form language, but also how to use it in social life, in social context, as it used by its native speakers. Therefore, the analysis of discourse has been an inspiration for teachers and language practitioners. They use it as a source of reference to formulate their curriculum, to design syllabus, to prepare teaching materials, and to determine language teaching methodology in their class. Well, after understanding the reasons and the urgency of learning discourse analysis to maximize our understanding of discourse analysis itself, it it will be better for us to also know the genesis or the origins of discourse analysis. So, when, how, and why does it exist as a theory? Therefore, at the beginning of the our material in the previous meeting about understanding the concept of discourse analysis, if I'm not mistaken, it was in our third meeting of discourse analysis course. The genesis of discourse analysis is also explained thus in the beginning of our course. So the word genesis itself derives from the Greek word Genesis, dating back to the 17th century, meaning origins, a source, or creations. In addition, as found on the Oxford English Dictionary, Genesis also means the origins or modes of formations of something. So basically here, the genesis of discourse analysis is the explanations about the origins, formations, and as well as its historical record of the developments of discourse analysis itself. So as per its historical record, discourse analysis has been linked with various disciplines of studies, both in humanities and social sciences, including linguistics. Therefore, to get to know the development of discourse analysis theory, it is important to learn about the development of linguistics theory first. As of today, it is broadly known that linguistics theory includes three different stages of development, starting from traditional grammar, structuralism theory, and functionalism theory, which mutually support by giving opportunities for the emergence of discourse analysis as a theory. So here, let's start by understanding the concept of these three linguistic theories first. So first, I'm going to explain about the traditional grammar theory. So the development of traditional grammar theory actually could trace back over 2,000 years ago, which was introduced and developed in Europe, especially in Greek and Rome. Traditional grammar is also referred to as a school grammar. So, according to Smith, traditional grammar theory is the study of sentence structures as well as its formations of words, morphology, and syntax sentences, usually without many reference to its sounds and meaning. This kind of phenomena happens because the main principle of this theory is to define what is and isn't correct in English by studying a rigid and fairly strict, as well as strict grammar rules, which are only focusing on the formations of words and sentences without knowing and understanding their meaning and function. What is the result of applying this kind of theory in language teaching, especially in English language teaching, whether in teaching language as a foreign language or as a second language? So, as stated by David Crystal, he argues that grammarians of the 2000s are the inheritors of the distortions and limitations imposed on English by 2 centuries of Latinate perspective. As an old theory, traditional grammar is considered irrelevant to modern linguistic study and language teaching today. So this theory is starting. That's why this theory is starting to be less used, because of its string rules and very rigid principles in language learning. So the main shortcoming of this theory is the prescriptive approach. So this kind of approach in English language teaching, which is believed by many linguists, is only focused on the private language. Its strict rules and principle resulting in the limitations of students' language skills to develop. So as we can see, nowadays there are many students of language who are able to read, write, and even answer grammar questions correctly, like grammatical errors or analysis or error analysis in the TOEFL and even IELTS tests. But unfortunately, they could not speak intelligible English, including myself. Yeah, you may see I'm able to speak effortlessly in this video right now without any hesitations and fear of being judged if I accidentally misuse and mispronounce words or expression in English, because actually this text takes two weeks in preparation, so I have lots of time to read and practice my pronunciations and speaking skills, even though I believe I still make so many mistakes in pronunciations as well as expressions and word selections. Anyway, everyone, having said this, I actually also face the same problem where my English teachers, since I was in the elementary schools until I graduated from high school, they all use this kind of approach. We receive so many inputs about grammar rules, English expressions through dialect, idioms, and any writing text that we use in the class during the class, where it consists of so many rules that should be followed and other rules to be avoided. So we learned about 16 types of tenses in English, and even their formula and patterns, as well as how to answer any kind of grammar questions if we find patterns like this. In other words, they usually say cara cepat, cara mudah, and even there is, I found cara siluman mengerjakan soal grammar secepat kilat and blah blah blah. So there are so many language forms we get, but unfortunately we weren't taught the meaning and the usage and the functions of language that we learned. I could answer any kind of grammar questions which usually appear on English tests, especially TOEFL, but I can't speak English effortlessly. I can't use it as the way the natives use it, since I only know its patterns and its rules, not the functions of the language, not the usage and even its meanings. You know, when I do a TOEFL preparation test, especially the error analysis test or structure test, I sometimes doesn't know what does these questions mean in Bahasa and its functions. I only read the patterns of the sentence like this based on what I've learned at schools. I'll show you one of my a book. This book I used when I was preparing for S.Ip in 2019. So I almost passed all the tests. I only didn't pass the TKP test. I also passed TWK, TPA, and also the hardest test of them, TBI test Bahasa English, which is equal to the TOEFL test, but without listening, speaking, and writing. Only reading structures and error analysis questions. So I learned this book all by myself. I could answer structures and error analysis by understanding the patterns of the questions given without having to know the meaning and the functions of the sentence. So at first I thought it was cool and fun, and we can save so many times to do other questions. So like, wow, dude, you can easily answer this question in less than a minute. But today, after I became a student of English and literature department and started discourse analysis in English language teaching, I finally realized that that's not cool and that's not fun at all as it seems, because that's not the way, that's not the proper way we should learn a language, which now I thought it's actually a bit tricky. So yeah, learning a language is more than it. It's also about its functions, usage, cultures, and its people in society. There is no shortcut for success, everyone. So, well, everyone, yeah, that's a bit for me based on what I've experienced. So, basically here, traditional grammar theory refers to the collections of prescriptive rules or standard rules that are to be followed, and other rules beside the standard rules to be avoided. So the second theory is structuralism. In general terms, structuralism itself is considered as a general theory of cultures and a methodology that implies the elements of human cultures must be understood by the way of their relationship to a broader system. So we know that structuralism is a way of preserving the word in terms of structures. So based on its historical records, structuralism theory itself is closely related to or connected to Ferdinand de Saussure. He was a prominent linguist known as the father of modern linguistics and the father of structuralism, who discovered structural linguistics theory through his book entitled General Linguistics, published in 1916. So in the book, and also in the book of Discourse analysis for English language teaching (ELT), which is written by Andy Kaharuddin, it's explained that Ferdinand de Saussure's view about the structure of language, that language was formed by signs which produce speech or utterance. So a sign itself has two components, namely signifier and signified and signifier. So signifier is the concept, is the abstract idea, while signifier is the physical appearance of signified. Or in other words, the sign is the combinations between signified and signifier, which is aimed to gain its meaning. So the principle of this theory is to put the spoken language as the first place, while the written language in the second place. So it's also different from traditional grammar theory that use prescriptive approach, while this theory use descriptive approach. Further, it also requires students to imitate a chosen source language to build their language skills, or usually called received pronunciations, or RP. So, however, in modern linguistics, structuralism theory is less used, is less popular today than other approaches, because it's not so different from its predecessors, traditional grammar theory. Structuralism is still fairly rigid because the learning and teaching methods that are applied in this theory also still require language teachers, learners, and students to speak using appropriate language patterns that are set and accepted at the times, or commonly called received pronunciations (RP), which is mostly used by royal families members and nobilities in England. So consequently, language teachers are required to prevent students from making errors. This attempt by teachers called error analysis, while speaking, in which they are usually correcting students, such as the students' pronunciations, word selections, and grammar, when those things aren't in accordance with the rules that have been set. So, and last but not least is the functionalism theory. In linguistics terms, the functionalism theory started to appear in the beginning of the 1970s by American linguist Noam Chomsky as his reactions to structuralism theory. So the functionalism theory in linguistics is known as the approach to language study that is concerned with the functions performed by language, primarily in terms of cognitions, expressions, and also connotations. Chomsky argues that language is not a habit. It's not a habit structure taught by presenting stimulus and responses, reinforcements, and associations, but was created by underlying knowledge of abstract rules derived from innate aspects of minds and human process experienced through the language itself. Further, he claimed that sentences in human languages were not learned by imitations and repetitions, but it's generated from the learner's underlying competence. So here we now can conclude that Chomsky believed that language is innate, or in other words, human is born with a capacity of language. So language rules are influenced by experience and learning, but the capacity for language itself exceeds with or without environmental influences. In contrast with Chomsky's grammatical competence, M.Hum stated that there were rules of language neglected in Chomsky's theory, that native speakers know more than just grammatical competence, which is called communicative competence. Therefore, he claimed that competence in language should be viewed as the knowledge of rules of grammar and performance, as well as the way the rules are used. So, therefore, in linguistics, functionalism can refer to various approaches to the study of grammatical descriptions and process that consider the purpose to which language is put in and the context in which language occurs, known as functional linguistics. Meanwhile, the principle of this theory is to see the functionality of language itself and its elements to be the key to understanding linguistics process and structures. As we have learned from the previous lessons about the understanding the concept of discourse analysis, and where we have studied about everything related to the basic concept of discourse analysis. We started from first the reasons and the urgency of studying discourse analysis, second the genesis or the origin of discourse analysis and the influence of the development of linguistic theory towards the development of discourse analysis as a theory, which consists of traditional grammar theory, structuralism theory, and functionalism theory, and its relationship to discourse analysis. So, the next core material to be learned is the concept of discourse and discourse analysis in English language teaching, or ELT. So, I'm going to explain the concept of discourse analysis English language teaching and the relationship between discourse analysis and English language teaching, or ELT. So the word discourse itself derives from Greek word discoursus. So discoursus means conversations or speech. So discourse, as seen in Cambridge Online Dictionary, is a communications in speech or writing. Meanwhile, as found on Merriam-Webster's Dictionary, Online Dictionary, discourse is a verbal exchange of ideas, especially conversations. According to David Crystal, a prominent British linguist, discourse is a continuous stretch of language larger than a sentence, often constituting a coherent unit, such as arguments, joke, or narratives. So we can know that discourse is every kind of situations and circumstances that allow humans or people to communicate and use language, especially in spoken context and written text. Meanwhile, discourse analysis, or also known as discourse studies, is the study about the ways in which language is used between people, both in written text and spoken context, where it's also looking at both language form and its functions, linguistic features, as well as social and cultural factors of different written text and types of talk. So Tennant argues that discourse analysis is sometimes defined as the analysis of language beyond the sentence. So we can conclude that discourse analysis is defined as an attempt to analyze the organizations of language use in terms of written text and spoken interactions to identify significant language based on its forms and functions. So after knowing the concept of discourse and discourse analysis, then what does it mean in English language teaching, or ELT? So before we move to the relationship between discourse analysis and English language teaching, it's better to get to know what does English language teaching means. So teaching itself is the process of imparting knowledge or skill to a group of students. Therefore, the notions English language teaching, ELT, can be divided as the process of imparting knowledge and skills of English to a group of students whose first language is not English. Then what is the relationship between discourse analysis and English language teachings? So as I've explained before, that many students of language nowadays who are learning English even for years, they still can't speak intelligible English due to the fact that most of today's language teachers are still teaching their students English in isolation by using this kind of methods. Students are able to understand the rules, formulas, and patterns of English sentence, but they don't know how to use it, when and how, and when and to whom the sentences or expressions are used when it comes to a real-life conversation, since they only learn the language form without the knowledge of the language functions. Therefore, it is recommended to every English teachers and even students to learn about discourse analysis in English language teaching, for it provides information on how native English speakers use English to interact and communicate in their social lives. Well, after learned about the concept of discourse and discourse analysis and its relationship in English language teaching (ELT), the next topic we should learn is about the scope of discourse analysis itself. So the scope of discourse analysis is spoken and written language. In our daily activities, this this both this use and very helpful for us. Spoken language includes discussions, conversations, news, speech, announcements, etc. And for written discourse include magazines, newspapers, textbooks, stories, and others written texts. For these sections, I'm going to explain the representations of spoken discourse, which is speaking. So according to Andy Kaharuddin in his book entitled Discourse Analysis for English Language Teaching, speaking is the way to say something from feeling and mind, which is expressed through the sequence of sounds, vocabulary, phrases, and sentence that contains meaning to convey a particular functions in language. In addition, Ladou's divine speaking is an activity to explain someone in a certain situation or an activity to report something. So, one of the scope of spoken discourse is speaking, as I told you before, because there is spoken and also written. So, one of the scope of spoken discourse is speaking as interactions or conversations. So actually it consists of two concepts of speaking as interactions. First is called classroom conversations and casual conversations, social life conversations. So classroom conversations is primary for the students who are learning the foreign language in the class. So in the class, they were used to speak with their teacher or their friends. So the successful of classroom conversations depends on how teachers teaching the methods and their students' interactions in the classroom as well. So meanwhile, casual conversation concern the type of conversation that people do when they talk just for the sake of talking only. So here I'm going to explain about classroom discourse or a classroom conversations. But before we analyze classroom discourse or classroom conversations, it is very important to highlight that we should understand the concept of classroom conversation itself. So classroom is regarded as the first place to learn and practice English. So classroom discourse or classroom conversations is a kind of language used by teachers and students in their interactions during the class, which has its own special styles. So however, we should realize that classroom conversations is not categorized as the real world conversations or social life conversations due to the fact that it's only used in the space of class between teachers and their students. So, and it is just limited in the classroom area. So for English language teaching, doing conversations is a primary thing that students and the teachers have to do to increase the students' language skills. So, but unfortunately, teaching English in Indonesian setting schools mostly use textual grammatical methods. Therefore, by studying discourse analysis, teachers is expected not only to teach the form of language to their students, but also the functions of the language itself. So, besides studying discourse analysis for classroom conversations, it is also essential so that teachers could know how discourse works in casual situations in order to assist their students to use effective communications in the real-world conversations. So, in analyzing classroom discourse, Sinclair and Coulthard found a pattern called IRF sequence from analyzing conversation between teachers and students. So those patterns are I, which stands for initiations, where teachers initiate conversation in the class. So for example, there's a conversation between teacher and students in classroom during the English lessons. The teacher is showing some stuff to her students while saying, "Now then, I've got some things here too." So she then up her hands and lifted this stuff she just mentioned. So what's that? What is it? So here the teacher is trying to initiate the conversations by saying that sentence, and asking questions about the stuff that she meant. So this means that the initiation brings the functions of asking or to ask. Okay, now that was I. So next is R, which stands for a response, where students give their response to their teacher questions. So after identifying the stuff that their teachers shows to them, they will give a response by saying so. So here the students give a response towards the questions by saying so. So here we can know that the response brings the functions of answerings or to answers. Then the last but not least is F, which stands for feedback, where the teacher give feedback to the students answers. It's a so. Yes, it is a so. So here the teacher acknowledged the student's answer by asking, "It's a so." Yes, it is a so. Here we can know that the feedback brings the functions of commenting or to comment. As for the example of classroom conversation analysis, we can conclude that these three sections in classroom conversation or classroom discourse, IRF, has their own functions, where I is for initiations, is to ask, R response is to answers, and F feedback is to comments. So even though the discourse sequence and functions, as I have just explained to you, may not only be viewed as the result of analyzing the classroom discourse, but they should also be as cultural information, which is very useful for non-native teachers to be taken into account when teaching English for students in the classroom. For example, the sequence and functions of IRF can be used by Indonesian teachers who is teaching Bahasa in English-speaking countries, for example, like Australia, for it helps students to adapt to Indonesian schools settings, especially in the classrooms. Well, okay, everyone. The topic about the scope of discourse, which is about spoken discourse in classroom conversation or classroom discourse, is the last topic of my explanation about discourse analysis in this video. So as I've explained at the beginning of this video, there are several subtopics about discourse analysis that we are going to learn in this video, started from reason of studying discourse analysis, where we have known that there are some reasons which could motivate us to learn it, such as academic reasons, pragmatic reasons, and also pedagogical reasons, which all really benefits for students. so that they students and also teachers, so that they can use the language efficiently from its form and its functions in social context. And we also have learned about the genesis of discourse analysis, when, how, and why does it exist as a theory, as well as its relationship with the development of linguistic theory from traditional grammar theory, structuralism, and functionalism theory. And after we understand about the genesis of discourse analysis, we then also learned about the concept of discourse and discourse analysis in English language teaching, so that we can know the difference between discourse and discourse analysis and its functions in English language teaching. And the last topic we have covered in this video is about the scope of discourse analysis, which is about the spoken discourse, which is about the classroom discourse or classroom conversations, so that we can know how does the classroom conversation in Indonesia's school setting works, as well as its functions in English language teaching or ELT. Well, as a student of English and literature who also learns English almost every day, there are some recommendations I would like to suggest that in teaching and learning language, in this case English, either as foreign or second language, we should not just learn its form, grammar, pronunciation, rules, and sentence, but we also should learn its function too, how to use it in a real life conversation, how to use it in a social life conversation. So there should be a balance between form and functions of language that we learn, because as we know that the function of language is to communicate, to express our ideas and feelings, and we can use it in the proper way so that people can understand what are we talking about. So therefore, as I've just explained, that learning discourse analysis in English language teaching is very essential both for teachers and students, so that we can have not only the knowledge about language form, but also the knowledge of language function itself. So, well, I think that's all I can explain about discourse analysis, even though I realize that there are still so much mistakes I've made during my explanations in this video, and I'm really sorry for that, because I'm also still learning about discourse analysis, and also still improving my my English skills, especially speaking. So, but I mean, last but not least, I'm gonna express my deepest gratitude to everyone who have been supporting and helping me during the making of this video. I would like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, my Lord, my God, my everything, the highest priority on my daily life list. Because of His blessing and grace, I could finish this video, this task, and also peace be upon the Prophet Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has brought us to the darkness era into the lightness era. My mom and dad, who worked tirelessly to make sure that we still have something to eat every day on our table, and I couldn't thank you enough. I pledge every hard work in my study to you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save and always protect you. May you could see me reach every dreams and wishes that I've been listing on my diary and write on my study decks. And also to my dearest sisters and brother whom I always fight and argue with, I know that I still cannot be a good sister to you guys, and I cannot be a good exemplary figure for you to look up and proud of. But I believe, but but believe me, only God know I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you guys since the day God promoted me as your elder sister. So as well, I would like to thank my teachers, from my elementary teachers to my university teachers, which I couldn't mention it one by one. Thank you for all your guidance, sweet tears, and even blood you've sacrificed while tirelessly teaching me, and I couldn't thank you enough too. And I can only pray, may God bless you with healthy life, success, and following your life. And special mention to Sir Dr. Andy Kaharuddin, my lecturer for discourse analysis. Thank you for all your guidance and patience in teaching us. Thank you for every meaningful messages you always give to us during your lessons. And I'm a very sensitive person. So every little thing that surrounds me can really affect myself. Support, motivations, and reminder that you always tell us is hugely impact me. So as you said, that always do good deeds, always do good things, because it will return to us. And I would like to apologize if there's any kind of my actions that may hurt your heart or you don't like. Oh, and also thanks a lot for your book. I learned so much from your book, especially for the content of this video and all of my assignments from in the previous lessons. So actually, the book is my ultimate reference, since it's really well written and not too hard to understand for a newbie like me. And thank you so much. I do hope that I could also write and have my own book, and also publish my own publication, my own paper in my own journal someday. I would also like to thank my dearest friend from AG.3 English and Literature Department, batch 2019. Thank you so much, guys, for being such a kind friend. Even though it's already 2 years since our last offline meeting in campus, I already miss you. Even sometimes you all get me irritated, and sometimes be so annoyed by asking me so many questions, irritating questions. But I do miss you, and I hope to see you again in a real life classroom at our faculty, Adab and Humanities faculty at UIN Makassar. So that's all what I can say. Thank you so much for I'm starting to lose my voice. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and I'll see you next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.